Hello, beautiful people. As you may all know, May is the month of mental health awareness. Mental health has always been something very important to me, as I'm sure it is for plenty and a lot of people in this world. A lot of people struggle with mental health, and physical health is very important, and a lot of people strive on that and put a lot of importance on that. Going to the gym, taking care of your body, eating the right things. But I feel like sometimes people don't talk about taking care of your mind, taking care of yourself mentally. A lot of the time, in order to take care of yourself, take care of your body, you need to be in the right headspace. I've always been a quiet person. Since I was little, I've always just struggled with social anxiety, just not wanting to really talk to people, and also struggling to make friends, getting to meet new people because I was just so shy and quiet and anxious. And that's affected me since then. It still does to this day. Even from a young age, I always judged myself internally of how I looked. I was embarrassed to talk to people about them, to the point where it made me feel like I couldn't talk to anyone or make any friends because I was scared that someone would make fun of me. Around this time, I was also being bullied, so that didn't help me try to make friends. But recently, in the last 7 years, I've struggled a little bit more with it, and it involves other factors into it that are no longer in my life. All just kind of led to a point where around 2022, I would like to say, was that I was really struggling with my mental health. I felt alone. I felt lonely. I felt like I didn't have anyone. I couldn't talk to anyone about what was going on in my life and how I felt mentally, because I didn't want anyone to have to deal with it. I didn't want anyone to deal with me. I didn't want to be a burden on my family. I love my family, I love my friends, and I always felt like they have enough on their plate, so why would they care about what's going on in my life? It led me to stay in my brain a lot, in my head, and do things I shouldn't have. I started self-harm. Voices in the back of my head telling me these terrible things about myself, about how I didn't deserve to have people in my life. I didn't deserve to be happy. I didn't deserve to have all of these great things for whatever reason. There wasn't really ever a point of why. Because of the bullying that I experienced at such a young age, that stuff always stayed with me. I've never been good with comments for my weight, how I look, my race. Anything like that has always stayed with me, and I take that stuff sometimes a little too personally, to the point where it sits with me and makes me feel these things about myself and hate myself. So when I felt like I couldn't turn to anyone, even though I could have, I started harming myself, cutting myself, and it felt like it was the only way to release a short-term amount of pain, in a sense of sadness within me. It felt like the only person I could hate in that situation for how I was feeling was myself. I hated myself, and I've always, to an extent, hated myself, because I didn't blame other people for how they were treating me. I didn't blame others for the way I was feeling. I blamed myself because I believed in every single word, every single bad thing that people have ever said about me, that I've heard. I wanted to hurt the person who hurt me. And now, in that moment, it felt like it was myself. There wasn't really ever going to be a stopping point of what I was doing to myself until one day, my sister saw it accidentally. And that reaction that my family had to what I was doing to myself and the scars that they saw on me, it hurt a part of me, because the one thing I wanted to avoid happened. I didn't want to tell them how I felt, what I was doing, because I was embarrassed. Not only of what I was doing to myself, but embarrassed and ashamed of how I was feeling. And I feel like I hurt the people that I love because of that. But only through that, through my sister finding out, that allowed me to open up about the struggles that I was currently going through, talking to them, which is a very hard thing. outside perspective, trying to talk to someone about something so vulnerable can seem so easy because you know that you are going to be there for that person. But there's so many hurdles that the person going through that has to go through to get there, to feel comfortable enough to tell them, because it's not necessarily that they feel comfortable with you, but comfortable enough with themselves to admit this to people. Because once you admit it and you are honest and confess it, that's when it becomes real. And that's when everything will weigh down on you. And the gravity of the situation hit me then. Talking about my experience with others in my circle and hearing about things that they struggled with allowed me to appreciate life more. The reason I wanted to talk about this and talk about my own personal experiences because I know a lot of people struggle in life, day-to-day life, and struggle so bad to the point where they can't talk to anyone. They don't feel like they can talk to anyone. One distinction I've made recently is the difference between being alone and lonely, at least from what I think it is. To feel lonely means to feel like, I feel like you don't have anyone that you feel the most comfortable to talk to. Whether it's the one person or a group that may not be there that makes you feel lonely in that moment or for a long period of time because you're missing that person. But you're not alone. In whatever situation you are, you're not alone. You have sometimes not plenty, but you do have somebody, whether it's family members, a loved one, a friend, try to talk to them about what you're going through, about what you're feeling. Because trust me, it is better to be vulnerable and to be embarrassed with this person than to internalize that and to let it sink in within you and do things to yourself that you can't reverse, because that pain will always be there and you can't reverse that. And unfortunately, there are some people in this world that aren't here today because they didn't know that they had someone they can count on. Life is a curse and a blessing at the same time. It could be beautiful and it could be ugly. But I promise you, whoever is watching this, that there is someone out there who loves you. You are not alone. Take that hard step, that first very hard step to open up to somebody and allow yourself the chance to not feel whatever you're feeling. It's important for you to know that you matter in this world. No matter what you're going through in life, no matter how hard life can be, you still matter. Your life is valuable. So please do not let one bad situation or a few bad moments in life make you believe wholeheartedly that this is not a world to live in, that this is not a life to live in. These things are put in front of us to make us grow in strength, in love, and power to be the people that we are meant to be one day. It's important to know that there is another side to this. There is a good and rewarding side to all of it. So please do not give up. And I know this sounds very cliche because everyone's gonna say that. It's not easy. It's very difficult. And it's gonna be very fucking hard. But you will get through it. Walk out of it knowing that you tried for yourself to see something through, to see whatever it is you need to do to make sure you're okay. My final message is that you are very important. You are a very special person. And right now, you might feel like no one will miss you. No one will feel anything whenever you're gone. But that's not true. Whether it's one person, a group of people, you mean something to somebody. People love you. So please extend a hand out to those people who are around you. And let them show you how much they care. Because although you may feel lonely, you are not alone. And you do not have to go through whatever struggle in your life by yourself. Allow yourself to feel love and allow yourself to be happy, because we only get one life. We only get one. So let's try to make the most of it, no matter how long or short it is. Let your heart and your mind be filled with love rather than hate. Love yourself. Give yourself that love that you deserve.